Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm your host, Nina.
And I'm Matt. Today, we're looking at part 1 of a story that's called The Birthmark.
What is a birthmark?
A birthmark is a mark that someone is born with, and usually it's what we'll call something that's sort of a different color of your skin that you might have somewhere on your body. That's what we call a birthmark.
Do you have any birthmarks?
Yes, I have one birthmark. It's just a slightly darker patch of skin that's on the inside of my knee.
Oh, okay. Do you dislike it? Maybe you think it doesn't look good or you don't really care?
I don't really think much about it. It's just slightly darker than the rest of the skin around it. It was never something other people really noticed, so it's not something I really worried about.
Yeah, I also have a birthmark, but also don't mind it. But I do know that some people have their birthmarks removed for certain reasons. Some people don't like the way it looks, or sometimes birthmarks could be cancerous, right?
I guess, there are certain kinds of marks on your body that usually we call them moles. That's a smaller, darker, circular mark. And often people might have those removed, sometimes for health reasons because it can have cancer.
Yes, okay. So let's learn a little bit more about this story and the birthmark.
Aylmer was a skillful scientist. Nothing was more important than his work. Then he met Georgiana. Before long, he fell in love with her and married her. Georgiana was beautifully perfect, except for her birthmark.
Hello everyone, today we are looking at part 1 of this story called The Birthmark.
Okay, now let's get right into it. Aylmer was a skillful scientist. Nothing was more important than his work. Okay, so Aylmer is a scientist and he is very skillful. Skillful means very good at doing something. For example, she is a skillful dancer. Okay, so a skillful scientist, so he must be working very hard and doing sciencey things. Okay, let's find out what kind of sciencey thing he'll be doing.
All right. Then he met Georgiana. Before long, he fell in love with her and married her.
Okay, so this Georgiana must be very beautiful.
So he's fallen in love with her, and often when two people fall in love, they will eventually get married, or they will marry each other. So this verb to marry means when two people join in a union to become partners for the rest of their lives, or hopefully the rest of their lives. So people get married, or you can say they marry. So for example, I could say, she married the love of her life.
Oh, that's sweet. All right, continuing with the story. Georgiana was beautifully perfect except for her birthmark. Okay, I wonder what kind of birthmark she has, because you can still be very beautiful with birthmarks, right?
That's right. Birthmarks can even give you a little bit of character, something more interesting. If something is just perfect and there's nothing at all that makes it special, then it's not as interesting.
Indeed. All right, let's go to Tina and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们今天来聊聊胎记这个故事。Aylmer 是一位技术高超的科学家，没有什么比他的工作更重要。后来他遇见了 Georgiana， 不久后就爱上了她，并与她结婚。除了胎记之外 ，Georgiana 几乎完美无瑕。我们来看看这个单字 skillful 形容词，技术纯熟的。The skillful artist painted a beautiful picture. 那位技术纯熟的艺术家画了一幅美丽的画。Marry 动词嫁娶。Kyle married Lily in June. Kyle 在6月娶了 Lily。文法的部分刚刚提到了 A falls in love with B. A 爱上 B。Fall in love 指的是爱上，是固定用法。举例来说 Kurt fell in love with Mia's smile. Kurt 爱上了 Mia 的笑容。Except for 除了什么之外，也可以省略 for。例如说 All the fruits were sweet except for the lemon， 也可以说 All the fruits were sweet except the lemon。除了柠檬之外，所有水果都很甜。接着我们回到课文当中。
So far, we've learned that Aylmer is a very skillful scientist, and he met, I suppose, the love of his life, right, Georgiana. And we learned that she's very, very beautiful, except for one thing. What is that?
Well, she has a birthmark. So that is the title of our story, is the birthmark. So I guess we'd have to assume that this birthmark that Georgiana has is going to be very important to this story in some way.
Do you think it's going to be something that Aylmer loves, or maybe he thinks it's the one thing that doesn't make her that perfect?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know much about the birthmark yet. Maybe it's something special, like maybe it's like a map to treasure or something, or something exciting, and then Aylmer's going to use his science skills to follow the map and find the treasure.
Okay, I guess there's only one way of finding out. So let's go to the second part of the story, and we'll actually find out more about this very mysterious birthmark.
It was a tiny hand on the left side of her face. It was also dark red on Georgiana's pale skin. Aylmer hated the birthmark. He asked Georgiana if she ever considered getting rid of it. Georgiana said no. In fact, she thought of it as her good luck charm.
All right, we are back. So before the break, we had learned that Georgiana has a birthmark, and that is one thing that makes her not completely perfect.
Okay. Let's find out more about this birthmark. It was a tiny hand on the left side of her face. So this birthmark kind of looks like a hand, right?
Right, it's an interesting shape for a birthmark. You don't often see one shaped like a hand, but that sounds kind of cool.
It looks like someone slapped her.
A tiny person.
A tiny person, okay. It was also dark red on Georgiana's pale skin. Okay, so it's a dark red birthmark. Okay, so I can see how maybe that won't be that flattering. So dark is an adjective, means having little or no light. And in this case, it's a dark color, so it's not bright. For example, it gets dark early in winter.
All right, so when we talk about dark colors, we are talking about them being very colorful, being very concentrated, having a lot of color. And the opposite of that is a pale color, where it's much closer to white. It has very little of the color in it. So when we talk about Georgiana having pale skin, we mean that her skin is very close to white. She doesn't have a suntan. She hasn't been outside very much. Her skin looks mostly white, and that's why you can see this birthmark so clearly. So another example sentence, she wore a beautiful pale blue dress.
Okay. All right, so now let's go to Tina and we will find out more.
那个胎记是一个小小的手掌形状，在 Georgiana 的左脸上，而且在白皙的皮肤上呈现深红色。我们来看看这个单字 dark， 形容词，深色的。Anna picked dark red shoes for the party. Anna 为参加派对挑选了一双深红色的鞋子。Pale， 形容词，白皙的，苍白的。Lisa turned pale after hearing the bad news. Lisa 听到坏消息后脸色发白。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, we are back. So just before we left you, we were talking about this birthmark that Georgiana has and how it looks like a tiny red hand on the left side of her face.
Yes.
Aylmer hated the birthmark. Okay, so he didn't think it was cool at all.
No, he didn't think it was special or pretty.
Right. He asked Georgiana if she ever considered getting rid of it. Okay, that's not a very nice thing
It's
to
not.
ask someone you love to say something about their appearance, like, hey, do you ever think of changing your nose? Or do you ever think of losing some weight? Or these kind of things.
Yeah, I feel like Aylmer sounds a little bit mean.
It might be, but yeah, that's not really something you should say to someone you love.
Yeah, especially if she's already so beautiful. So Georgiana said no. In fact, she thought of it as her good luck charm. Okay, so she thinks of this birthmark actually as her good luck charm. So charm is an object that is either lucky or has something magical. So for example, I keep my jade charm in my purse for protection.
Okay, so that jade charm must be pretty magical.
Yes.
Okay, well I like, Georgiana's response. She wasn't like, she didn't feel sad that he had asked her about getting rid of her birthmark, but she's confident and she's like, no, this is good luck. So that's a good way to think.
Definitely. She feels good with herself and she doesn't think it's ugly.
Okay, let's go to Tina.
Elmer 厌恶那个胎记，他问 Georgiana 有没有考虑过把它去除。Georgiana 说没有。事实上，他认为胎记是他的幸运符。我们来看看单字 charm， 名词护身符。Gina wears a small charm around her neck. Gina 脖子上戴着一个小护身符。文法的部分刚刚提到了 consider 加上 VING 考虑做某事 consider 是考虑，后面如果遇到动词就要把动词改为动名词，比如说 Lisa considered going to the party. Lisa 考虑过要不要去参加派对。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so in this part, we've learned a little bit about Georgiana's birthmark that's on the left side of her face, which looks like a hand, right?
Yeah, it sounds very interesting because, my birthmark just looks like a blob. It doesn't look like anything. So I think it would be cool if you had a birthmark that you could
resemble something.
That look like something.
Yes, that would be really cool. And other than that, she is a beautiful woman. But I guess we'll have to see what they end up doing because her husband doesn't seem to like it.
Well, he hates it.
Yes. Okay, so let's review the story one more time and we will see you tomorrow to find out what happens next. Bye.
Bye.
Aylmer was a skillful scientist. Nothing was more important than his work. Then he met Georgiana. Before long, he fell in love with her and married her. Georgiana was beautifully perfect, except for her birthmark. It was a tiny hand on the left side of her face. It was also dark red on Georgiana's pale skin. Aylmer hated the birthmark. He asked Georgiana if she ever considered getting rid of it. Georgiana said no. In fact, she thought of it as her good luck charm.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 skillful 形容词技术纯熟的 marry 动词嫁娶 dark 形容词深色的 pale 形容词白皙的苍白的 charm 名词护身符。接着我们来看文法的部分 A falls in love with B A 爱上 B Paris fell in love with Helen at first sight. Paris 对 Helen 一见钟情。Except for 除了什么之外 All the dishes were delicious except for the soup. 也可以说 All the dishes were delicious except the soup. 除了汤以外，其他的每道菜都很美味。Consider 加上 VING， 考虑做某事。Nate never considered asking for help. Nate 从未考虑要寻求帮忙。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
I've been totally looking for you. Did you hear that Gavin got fired?
No.
I'm still in shock. I guess he was cooking the books.
Cooking the books? You mean he got fired from cooking the books in the office?
Oh, no, not literally cooking books. It just means that he was faking the financial records of the company to make it look like we had more money than we did.
Oh, wow, that's awful, but why would he do something like that?
Well, I'm not sure of the details, but I guess he just was stealing money. Now he's out of a job and he could be facing criminal charges.
What a mess. I guess serious consequences are inevitable once you tamper with the accounts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today's phrase is cook the books.
Right. It means to dishonestly alter a company's financial records, usually to hide losses or steal money.
You can think of it like cooking ingredients. We transform them into a meal to improve them.
Similarly, cooking the books means changing financial numbers to make them look better than they actually are.
Here's an example sentence. Anyone caught cooking the books will face serious legal consequences.
Or the company's CEO was caught cooking the books and had to resign immediately.
So remember, cooking the books is a serious crime. It must be avoided at all costs.
Exactly. And that's all for today.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.